that. Houston, we found the problem.
Alright guys, we're starting to pull the motor mounts off to replace a freeze plug that's up under there. And the first thing I did was I pulled the motor mount bolt out, as you can see. Then we're jacked up on the motor. I should probably have something there, but we're not going to worry about it. I pulled the bolts off the bottom of the frame horn right here. Somewhere in there, it's too dark to see. Now we got to pull the... Hold on. Now we got to pull these bolts out and get this whole assembly out of the way. Once this is out of the way, we'll take that clamshell off right there and we can get to the freeze plug. So let me work. All right, we've got our frame support or motor mount support right there taken off, as you can see. Now we can get to, sorry it's dark out here, we can get to those 3 bolts now and get the clamshell off. So let me go get a ratchet and knock that out. All right, now we got our clamshell off. We can maybe get a good look at the freeze plug rusting out. Look at there. So now we can pull that out and replace it and put it all back together. So we got our frame support for C10 here taken out. Got our clamshell, so we got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bolts to make all this happen. Plus, back there, the transmission's unbolted, so it can shift a little bit. Other than that, that's all I've got unbolted. So let me figure out how we're gonna get this freeze plug out now. All right, so we got it out right here. Luckily, it was rusted at the bottom. So I was able to poke for it, use a big screwdriver to get it moving. I accidentally knocked it in a block, but I was able to get it to catch on my gloves and come out like that, and then pry it out. So now we're gonna clean up that hole. I'll go get some Hackett sandpaper. We'll clean up that hole and put a new one in it. All right, so I put a little aircraft forma gasket stuff on it. And focus, you fuck. Let's see right there. I got her in there. She's flush with the block. And we're gonna put it back together now. We'll start with putting our doohickey back on it, our clamshell, and then we'll put the part back on over here, lower it down and put the bolt back in it. So we'll get started on that. All right, so I've got our clamshell back on there. You see our new freeze plug behind it, clamshell in the front, she's tight. Now we gotta get this piece back up on the frame. And it's doable, you just kinda gotta wiggle it in there. Be careful, she's heavy. Got a lot of gravity to it. So we'll get it back in there. Got 2 top bolts, 2 bottom bolts. Top bolts bolt to the frame up there somewhere. Bottom bolts bolt down here, and you get to the nuts to them from under here. You can see it right there. Top one, you got to have somebody help you. Bottom ones, you can do it yourself. So let me get it in place and we'll go from there. All right, so we got our bottom one on, but it's loose. We're gonna put our motor mount bolt in. You get it in there and then tighten it all up. So that's pretty much it. We just need to put that in, tighten up that bolt, tighten up the bottom bolts, motor mount bolts, and then we got to make sure to bolt our transmission back there. All right, we got her back together. We've got our motor mount bolt back in there. We've got our clamshell and our other assemblies back bolted tight. Got our new freeze plug in there. Transmission's tightened up. All we used is, I got a little, what's that, a 9/16 stubby? 11/16 stubby. That's a 5/8 socket, impact, all that jazz. Hammer, screwdriver, and a 9/16 socket. That's all the tools we used for that. And she's done. We're gonna let it sit overnight, then I'll put water in it tomorrow.